What is up, everybody? We've got another episode of Survivor in the books. We are just creeping towards the merge. We've got a 2-hour episode next week that is, it's going to be the merge. Let's not beat around the bush. It's going to be the merge, and that's very exciting. I think that is something a lot of us have been looking forward to because the beginning of this season has just been, we just haven't got enough of the actual game. You know, as a Survivor fan, just a reality competition show fan, I love that, how the maneuvering and the gameplay between the votes and the social side of things, and we really just have not got that this season. Tonight was probably the best episode that we've got, just for the fact that we got a lot of time with our tribes. We got to see a little more into how each of them was going about things. You know, spent the most time with Vati because they were the ones who went to tribal. But other than that, finally getting to see a little more of everybody, and can't wait for the merge. If you remember last year, correct me if I'm wrong, but the little merge twist was that half the people ended up merging, and then the other half, I don't remember what it was, but they had to do something before merging, but it was still a merge. So let's get into tonight's episode. We had a little bit of fallout from the Ika tribes tribal council. It wasn't that heavy. Just like really Rocksroy feeling that he was a little bit blindsided and maybe cluing in that his social game isn't the best, and eventually he really agreed with what Romeo and Drea had done. But he's just been a little bit too literal of a player, in my opinion. And it's going to be interesting to see how he navigates things once we hit that merge. Taku, what am I saying? Jonathan Tribe, where they just had that scene with Lindsay and Marianne just talking and annoying Jonathan. I don't really know what the point of that was. It just felt like a weird storyline to be building within that tribe. They're trying to play the Marianne is annoying angle, and I just don't really buy it because I don't think that Jonathan, Omer, and Lindsay are the type of people who are going to kick somebody out just because they annoy them. I think they're going to they'd kick Marianne out because they were just a tighter trio than Marianne was with them. But I don't think they're going to, be vengeful or spiteful towards her because she annoyed them. That moment when we got the Romeo flashback, to his real life, him being the pageant coach, immediately, I don't know if anybody else does this, immediately alarm bells going off in my head, oh, Romeo's going home, but that wasn't the case. Just a little glimpse into who he is. But he didn't go home, but that was what was going through my head in that moment. Drea, she finds the final three-way idol. All three-way idols are in play, and when we got to the challenge, all three were activated. And honestly, I think this was probably pretty good timing for Mike. Yes, I think he would have survived this vote. But I think it was very important just to solidify things within the tribe that he did have that vote for their tribal tonight. So immunity. Ika, they absolutely kicked ass. It wasn't Jonathan Tribe kicking ass, but Jonathan, of course, did have the come from behind victory to snatch that last bit of safety away from the Vati tribe, which was just unfortunate for them because finally we got a challenge where Jonathan Tribe didn't just smash everyone and still they managed to get second place on the back of Jonathan. As I said, Vati, they are the bottom. They will be heading to Tribal. But first, we have Lydia and Rocksroy heading off on their journey to potentially win or lose their some sort of power. And you know, it's been the same each time, where you get the risk your vote, protect your vote. But I really enjoyed the interaction between Lydia and Rocksroy. You know, Lydia playing up how she was on the bottom, how she's on the outs, she's on the chopping block. And I really thought Rocksroy was just going to spill the beans, and was actually impressed by him that he didn't. You know, he played a little bit coy, and Lydia wasn't really able to get much information from him. So, you know, as much as Rocksroy at the start of the episode was slammed a little bit for not having a social game, he really navigated that social situation quite well with Lydia. In the end, both choose to protect their votes, which is something that Chanel is probably regretting heading into this tribal tonight. So the whole Vati thing, it's coming down Danielle and Chanel. You know, there are promises given to both of them that, you know, I think Mike promised Chanel, like, oh yeah, you're good. And Hai promised Daniel, like, oh yeah, you're good. But obviously someone is being lied to, because one of them did go home. The one thing at Tribal which did surprise me was the tied vote, and Mike getting hit by a stray vote from Chanel. I don't know if you saw that in the credit scene, but it was Chanel who wrote down Mike's name, and I thought for sure that it had been Daniel. So Chanel, your rogue vote almost cost you your game. Like if she had just written down Daniel's name, then there's no tie. Daniel's done and gone. Very, very interesting there. You know, maybe she was expecting Daniel to play his shot in the dark. Personally, I was expecting him to play his shot in the dark, but he obviously felt confident enough to forgo that and write Chanel's name down. Yeah, what else? Daniel, like, you can't trust this man. Like I don't know if he's being honest or dishonest or thinks he's being honest or what, but I just don't trust a single word out of his mouth. And to me, like, you have to have more trust and faith in Chanel moving into the merge than you ever would have with Daniel. So yeah, Daniel, he gets sent home, and the last one to get voted out before our merge. Yeah, very excited for next week. As I said before, 2-hour episode. We get to see the merge. We get to see all the new groups and cliques that gets formed, and going to be very interesting to see who the first people to break allegiance with their tribes to go seek more powerful groups will be. I think there are some rifts in all of our tribes. You know, Tori's kind of on the outside in Ika. Marianne a little bit on the outside in Jonathan tribe, and Chanel on the outside in Vati. You know, it'd be very interesting if they try to stick with their groups or just jump ship as soon as they can. All right, everybody, that's where we're going to wrap things up for this week. As always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, we will see you later.